Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon and I love rocks and gemstones, especially tumbling rocks and gemstones. It's my favorite hobby and it gives me an opportunity to really work very closely with a lot of different types of gemstones. And today I'm going to take you through the entire process of tumbling Lake Superior Agate. It's so beautiful. I'm going to take you all the way from rough to the finished polished product, and at the end I'll show you my timeline and the recipe that I used to achieve these results. And I used a rotary rock tumbler for the entire process. Lake Superior Agate it's just really gorgeous, and much like tumbling crazy lace, you will enjoy every stage of the way as you're doing your cleanings, picking through the stones and looking at the different patterns and colors and all of the beauty that is inherent with Lake Superior Agate. Now, it's an agate that's known mainly for its orange and brown color, which it gets from the iron deposits off of the area surrounding Lake Superior, and that is primarily where Lake Superior Agate is collected. And it looks very close to carnelian, because carnelian is also colored by iron and is an agate, but you'll see that Lake Superior Agate has the banding that agates are known for here. And this is also a stone in which you have to discover how perfect you want your finished gemstones to be. Because you'll see, this is a lovely gemstone. It's got a high shine, but I did decide to leave in these natural little pits that were on it because I think they look just as beautiful as the rest of the gemstone. Now, you can keep this tumbling in coarse a lot longer to get rid of all of those. However, I choose to leave it more natural looking, and that's totally up to you. When it's done with coarse and it's ready to move on, that's totally your subjective feeling and according to your sense of beauty. There's no right or wrong answer to that. Just make sure that if you're leaving in these little imperfections, or these little features, I should say, these features that you clean very carefully between stages so you won't carry grit along to another stage and possibly contaminate it. But let's get going. Let me show you the process and let's take a look at the rough. Today I'm starting some Lake Superior Agate. I've had this for a little while and I'm really excited to tumble this. Like right now it's rough. It's kind of smoothed out, but it's definitely still in a rough phase. So it's hard to know what is under the surface of these until after we run it in coarse for a week. But I know Lake Superior Agate is really, really beautiful. It's got a lot of great banding and colors. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to get this running in this tumbler with some coarse. So let's get started on Lake Superior Agate. Okay, here's my favorite time. After a rock has been in coarse for the first week, when you get to really see how it's gonna look, because the whole rough exterior has been shed and you can see the colors and the patterns underneath. It's my very favorite stage. And this, as I said, is Lake Superior Agate. And it does tend to have that kind of warm orange, brown orange color to it. And, ooh, look at that one. Nice. Nice. This is really lovely. Now it's going to need, of course, a lot more time in coarse because a lot of this does have some exterior that needs to be shaped a little more. But, ooh, pretty. What lovely Lovely. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. All right. Well, I am going to get this back in the barrel with more coarse grit, and we'll take a look at it again next week. This Lake Superior Agate is looking super pretty, and Lake Superior Agate has this distinctive like orange, dark orange color to it. Oh, so gorgeous. And the banding and the druzy. And some of these pieces are just looking so gorgeous. Really nice. Some of them are getting a little beat up though. This one is mostly this crystal druzy and it's getting a little banged up. So we'll see how it goes next week, and it might have to come out, but I hope it improves. But I'm really excited. This reminds me of carnelian. All right, well, let me get this back into its barrel with more coarse grit and some more ceramic media, and we'll see it again next week. Here is the Lake Superior Agate, and it has just finished, I think it's third week in course, and it's looking really, really good. Like, this is moving along a lot faster than I expected. It's faster than the Crazy Lace agate I just did, and really this almost looks ready for medium. There's just a lot of minor things that I would like smoothed out a little bit more before we move on to medium, but generally looking really shaped and smooth. There are some things I'm not going to try to get rid of, like these pits right here are very natural and lovely looking, and I'm going to leave them. However, it does mean that I have to be really diligent with the wash cycles between each stage, so it doesn't carry grit along with it that will contaminate the finer stages. But yeah, these are looking really, really gorgeous. All right, let me get these back in the barrel with coarse. We'll do this for one more week, and then I think we're almost ready to move on to medium. Excellent. Here is the Lake Superior Agate after another week of coarse, and it's looking really, really lovely. And I do think it's time that I move this on to medium grit. I am leaving this more naturally textured rather than try to grind away every pit in here, because I think some of the pits just add to its beauty, and you know, that's my personal preference. And in the rock tumbling hobby, that's something that you figure out for yourself. Your personal aesthetic, your personal sense of beauty when it comes to the rocks. And these are all looking really gorgeous. I did have to take some out, like I took some out of the smoky quartz that looked like, you know, these are mostly little crystal clusters here, and it's pretty clear that some parts of them are breaking off. And while that's okay in coarse, it's not okay in fine and extra fine. So I'm going to look through all of these and see if there's any others that I need to take out, so that I don't potentially contaminate a future batch. But, I mean, really, just looking so gorgeous. I'm so happy with this batch. All right, so let me get this in a barrel and into medium grit. Here is the Lake Superior Agate after a week in medium grit. And wow, it's just looking gorgeous. I am so in love with this stone. And it reminds me a lot of carnelian, especially pieces like this. But carnelian actually never shaped this well for me. That stone is very tough. But this is looking really, really gorgeous. I love the variation in colors. Oh, it just looks so nice. So before I move this on, I'll give it a wash cycle because you can see there's a little bit of slurry still hanging out in those pits there. And you really need to make sure that this is gone before you move it on to the finer stages. So this will go in for a wash cycle, and then I'll get it into a barrel with fine grit. Here is the Lake Superior Agate after a full week in fine grit, and it is looking so stunning. I am really excited about this. And as each week goes by, I get to see more and more of these and their wonderful patterns and the colors of each one. Oh, these are just really gorgeous. I'm so happy with these. So if you haven't tumbled Lake Superior Agate, then you should go out and get some. It's a really, really satisfying stone to tumble. And these are looking really phenomenal. So I'll get these washed off really well because I left some of the natural pits in there. And that could carry grit along to the next stage and cause contamination. You don't want that. So let me get these washed up really well and then on to extra fine. The Lake Superior Agate has finished a full week in extra fine grit and it is ready to move on to polish. It looks super smooth and extremely nice. I love all these different colors. I could look through these all day and just stare at each one. But there are a lot of natural imperfections and pitting that I'm leaving in. So this is going to need extra wash cycles before it goes into polish to ensure that all of the slurry is out of any natural pit or imperfection so that it doesn't contaminate the polish batch. So I'm going to get this into a wash cycle with soap and water and probably do it 2 or 3 times until the water runs pretty clean. And if you're interested in the specific details of wash cycles, then do check out my Rock Tumbling 101 online course. And I'll link to that in the description below because I have a whole module on wash cycles, the supplies I use, and each cycle from like beginning to end. So you'll see the water start dark and go to clear. And that's what I'm going to do with this right now. And then I'll get it into some aluminum oxide polish. Here is the Lake Superior Agate after a full week in polish. And I'm going to test and see how shiny it is. So I'm just pulling one right straight out of the polish bucket. I'm going to give it a rinse in some clean water and then dry it off with a paper towel and check on the shine. And look at that. Look at that beauty. Gorgeous. Let's try another one. Rinse. Dry it off. And shine. Yeah, this shined up so nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rinse all of this off. I'm going to put it in a burnish cycle, which is soap, water, and some borax, and let that run for about an hour. And then I'll show you pictures of the finished product. Thank you so much for joining me on my rock tumbling adventure today as I tumbled Lake Superior Agate. Just a really gorgeous gemstone. I really enjoyed tumbling it. Kingsley North is a vendor that sells a lot of different types of agates like Lake Superior, Crazy Lace, and Botswana agate. If you're looking for a source for this rough, I do highly recommend them. So if you're brand new to rock tumbling, make sure to check out my rock tumbling online course. It's a video course and it will help you learn all about the supplies, where to get rough rock, the types of tumblers, and show you videos of every stage of the way so that you can successfully complete your first batch of polished gemstones. And if you're an experienced tumbler and you'd like to see how I tumble a wide variety of gemstones, then make sure to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a single one. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.